once again, another knock on. It is going to be greasy. We've had 4 or 5 hours of rain in the build-up to kick off. It seems to have eased temporarily, but the ball that's been a problem for the kickers, proving to be a problem for the handlers early on. What odds you would have got on Rhys Priestland starting the World Cup 12 months ago? Fairly lengthy ones, I would have thought. Plays this evening because Stephen Jones isn't quite fit. Struggling with a calf. Taken on by George North. Interesting to see them using the big winger in that situation. Phillips to Priestland. This is Jonathan Davis. Taking on the two centres, De Villiers and Fourie. Phillips, Warburton quickly away and neatly away to James. This is better from Wales, having some time on the ball, and this is what Priestland does so well, straightening things up, using his power. Lydiate rather anticipating the pass from Phillips, so Phillips went the other way. Bennett, just outside the 22. Here is Lydiate, built like a man from mid-Wales farming stock. Priestland found Shane Williams just about the same time that Jacques Fourie did.
But you went off your feet to secure the ball. But you went off
Wasn't the tackle of Fourie that upset Wayne Barnes, it was the South Africans diving off their feet to try and win the ball back.
Yeah, I think Wales there stopped and they're waiting for the referee to do something. South Africans kept playing and infringed with the dive on the floor, but Wales beginning to put through some passages of play now, looking a lot easier, gaining a bit of confidence, setting some patterns out, an opportunity for James Hook to get 3 points on the board, which will be crucial for Wales. If they're going to stay in this game, they cannot let South Africa get too far ahead.
That was the moment that Fourie upended Williams. And that was the moment that Pierre Spies went off his feet and Barnes gave the penalty. It is blustery. It has been difficult with this ball, as we've seen. But James Hook finds the perfect direction just when Wales needed it. Gap's been cut by 4. And it's a purposeful response. South Africa 7, Wales 3.
Great response from Wales. A little bit of pressure, a penalty, an opportunity for 3 points. James Hook steps up. Wales on the scoreboard.
Phillips gathers in the restart. Taken on by the scrum half forward, Du Preez, who does very well. Skips his way up over the 10-metre line. Du Preez again to Steyn.
Nothing wrong, made a tackle.
Who is occupying Wales' defence at the moment. They're not quite sure where he's going, but it's been disrupted by Jonathan Davis. Chases his own hack through, and the early try scorer, Fran Steyn, kicked it straight to Shane Williams, who then is bundled into touch by Steyn, who rather made up for the error.
Great passage of play there from Jonathan Davis. Getting up at the line, coming through the gates. Job's not finished. Get through, be a nuisance, disrupt the South African half-back pairing. Was unlucky. Great work from him.
Smith goes long. He was looking for Berger. Instead, they found just Warburton, and Priestland very quickly turns the South African defence. Du Preez was the quickest to respond, and then he lost the ball forward. Alan Wynne-Jones was first there.
First knock on, scrummage red.
Faletau wasn't far behind, and well, Wales have reacted really well. They've got the 3 points from the penalty of James Hook, and they're really beginning to harry and hassle.
That's what they need to do. Fantastic watching them in training in the week. Great work here from Alan Wynne, putting pressure on Victor Matfield. Reece Priestland there showing his skill, seeing the space, seeing the opportunity, drive the ball back, make the South Africans have to turn, see what they've got. And that's a bad error. To clear your lines there. The Wales unlucky there. Adam Jones couldn't quite keep hold of that. But Wales just beginning to turn the screw. They can bring some of the enthusiasm which we saw during the week onto the field tonight. It won't be through lack of effort, that's for sure.
On my engagement, crouch, touch,
An attacking Welsh scrum.
pause, engage. Sorry, just
Paul
slip
James
both sides. Cancel.
On this near side, the Osprey, 27th cap, given
players,
his chance
nice
to hold
height.
up the scrum. Really, as a result of some injuries to Duncan Jones and Gethin Jenkins,
Crouch.
who we hear is not far away, may well train
Touch.
next week, but for the time being
Pause.
it is the Osprey James on
Engage.
this near loose head side. And that's the side that goes down again.
Can't see far side.
But because Barnes can't see, they will reset, but the implication from Yanni du Plessis, his South African opponent, Phil, is that it's James who's taking it to ground.
Well, I think he did get a very good hit on there. Read the referee's call very well. Managed to get his weight through. It's a big man, big powerful scrum, this South African scrum.
Touch.
Yanni du Plessis, whose brother may well join him later. Bismarck, the hook, is on the bench. That's a more solid Welsh scrum. Allows Faletau time to pick up and gather Phillips. JP Peterson went high. Penalties coming. This is Faletau, who's had his lock shorn. Phillips runs into du Plessis. So much better from Wales. Shane Williams. We will come back for the advantage.
High tackle.
Fantastic platform and that scrum from the Welsh pack. Mike Phillips doing what he does best, running at players. High tackle. Frustrating the South Africans, the Welsh.
Already cool.
They got off to a poor start. The South Africans got to try in early, but the Wales have responded, shown a huge amount of character, playing South Africa in the right areas of the field.
Wales fighting somewhat against history tonight. They've beaten the Springboks just once in over a century of Test matches. First game in Swansea was in 1906. They'd lost them all right up until they met in Cardiff in 1999, the first game at the Millennium Stadium. Graham Henry was in charge then, that's how long ago it was. That their only victory so far.
This
for Hook to pull them to within a point. Oh, the ball just drifted wide. It would be interesting to have another look at that, because it seemed from our position almost to drift back in, but it must have drifted too late.
I'd love to see it again.
We're not going to. James Hook would love to have another look at that one as well, but it's another one of those misses from a position that you would expect the kickers to be slotting them over from. It remains 7-3, but once again Phillips quickly to take the fight to South Africa, where it's gathered in well by du Preez. Finds Steyn, and then his namesake Frans Steyn slips, and half of Wales is on him immediately. Look at the intensity, but also look at the calm that South Africa responded with that little mini crisis. Steyn safely to touch, and the alarm bells for the time being are muffled. There's a lot of talk at the moment
Green, the line is yours.
About the new ball, and it did move just after the post. A lot of talk about this new Virtuo Gilbert ball and whether players are using it for the first time, but they've actually had 12 months to get used to it. They've been using it in the Six Nations. It was part of the Autumn Internationals a year ago, so whatever it is, It's a different batch. Every single kicker is struggling with it at the moment. Frans Steyn did well, took the ball for his pains. Carter struggled a little bit on the opening night. Wilkinson last night, but there was nothing wrong with that kick from Frans Steyn. It is designed to keep its shape, to hold its pressure better. Those who understand things will understand it much, much more, but particularly with the torpedo kicks, it does hold its shape, it holds its line, and it held it wonderfully there for the South Africans.
I never found a ball, Nick, that held my torpedo kick that well.
Dodgy equipment, Phil, dodgy equipment, must have been. As a result of that monumental kick from Steyn, Bennett and the rest of the Welsh pack are back in their own danger zone. Won by Charteris. Here goes Habana. He hoists high. He'll chase his own boomer. It's going to bounce dangerously between Phillips and Hook. Hook needed to be decisive there, and he was. Beautifully away by Priestland very quickly. Just a little bit too strong, though, for Roberts. And this is an opportunity for the Boks to counter-attack through the beast that is Skulkberger. Here goes the real beast, Tendai Mtuawira.
Advantage offside 6. Giving that mark if necessary, please.
Taken on by de Villiers, linking up with Fourie. Back to Habana.
Back we go.
But they will come for the earlier offside. Dan Lydiard had just taken a couple of steps further than he needed to have done.
6 offside at guard.
Referees have been very hot on this back foot, haven't they, so far in the games in this World Cup. Big emphasis on the back foot. Better passage of play from South Africa, getting the ball down the Welsh half. Right areas of the field. Opportunity for 3 points.
This was the break from Skulkberger. Such an important part of what the Boks try to do when he's fit. If you talk to Morné Steyn, he says that this place, the Cake Tin in Wellington, is not at the top of his list of favourite grounds. He doesn't like the way the wind swirls around. Let's see if it can do Wales a favour here. Well, almost inevitably that was going to go straight between the posts, which it did. Pete de Villiers, South Africa restore their 7-point advantage through the boot of Morné Steyn. They now lead by 10 points to 3.
Wales just need to keep doing what they're doing, playing in the right areas of the field, keeping the South Africans down in their own 22 and applying some pressure on them.
It is uncanny, the positioning of de Preur, isn't it? It's what he practices to do, but he always seems to be where the ball ends up landing. Hook chases his own kick. It holds up in the breeze, and Hook does wonderfully well. Finds Bennett. James onto North. This is Roberts. Neat, swift handling from the Welsh. Phillips, back to the skipper Warburton. What a 12 months he's had. Edged the great Martin Williams out of this Wales starting 15, out of the Wales World Cup squad. This is the giant-sized George North. Might be the youngest member of the squad at 19, but he's some way off being the smallest. Wales in these situations have worked well. It was a feature of the World Cup warm-ups. They held on to the ball brilliantly. They showed patience, scoring tries against England and Argentina, and they're showing patience here. Priestland feeds it to Hook, who went for the rather spectacular chip over the defence. But encouragement with the ball in hand.
Absolutely, putting great phases together.
Oh, what on earth was that? What on earth was that? Priestland gets an opportunity. he wouldn't have been expecting, but his eyes were open and he was ready for it. Williams coming infield, looking for work, eager to make an impression. The voices who've